was raised on the wild side ever since a child. I remember food stamps when mama said it's child time. Papa had the green Seville with the Alpine. Wolfer in the back, doggy style, track number 9. Lifestyles of a little nappy head. Guns in the closet, bills in the bed. Watching Jay-Z on BT, count bread. Pointed at him, then I said, man, you ain't getting money without me. Nigga, you ain't getting money without me. Somebody tell Buff he ain't getting money without me. You ain't getting money without me. Now you can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. You can talk about it, I won't be about it. No brakes on my GT, better one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, baby! We back. We back. Guess what we're doing? It's more Dragon Quest. You guessed right. Guys, it's another day where we have woken up, which means we have succeeded in the art of waking up. Wake your punk ass up! I hope everybody's having a good whatever day I upload this on, and welcome back to the playthrough. We're still making it through the Ranger quest over here in Karamui, the town of the muy delicious. Muy delicious, muy delicious, nutritious. So, while we're doing that today, I will become your yapping extraordinaire, baby-o. And we'll have a good time just chatting about whatever comes on the mind here. I do have a couple of rants that I want to finish off, address here, I guess you could say, a little bit, you know. Got a little bit more to say about our relationships in life, our turn-based relationships. I know last episode I yapped a little bit about New Year's resolutions. One of my New Year's resolutions is to bring more value to the relationships I have. And I was ranting about this in the last episode of version 1, right? But I'll talk a little bit more about my turn-based relationships rant, you know? 'Cause I relate it to JRPGs, and I relate everyone in the dating realm as just getting your turn, you know? It is now your turn to act, your chance to act. And some people will give you a chance and some people won't, you know? That's just how you have to take it, you know? That's how you have to move, knowing in yourself that, hey, I am the one, I am that shit. You basically just have to delude yourself into thinking that you deserve a chance. And sometimes that delusion ends up profitable in the long run, and sometimes you just keep the Delulu train going, you know? It is what it is, but you can't fight against your nature. You're always gonna come back to what you're most comfortable with. So to fight that is a losing battle. Well, once we're in this age, you know, this 20, 25, 30 age, that is where you're gonna change the most. So if you are blossoming into something, I'm not saying go against it. But I'm saying if you don't want to go there and you want to stay the way you are for the rest of your life, then that's obviously an option, like a course to take. But you have to realize what you're doing there. You are cutting off your potential. You're cutting off the what would be, you know? And a lot of times in dating, that is why we even pass up chances that are right in front of our faces because we strive for the what would be all the time. We've seen too many fairy tales um, come up beautiful and happy ending, and we expect life to be like that, but it's very hard to build something with a good foundation that lasts a lifetime with anyone, friend, foe, or lover. You know, to have someone around for that long, to have someone who cares for that long, because people, we really don't care. We really don't care. We do not care. I might put that up there. But the problem is, we are all the main characters in our own stories in life. Wow. And so, like, there's no fucking room. There's no fucking room for other people to be their own vindictful, retarded selves. You know, there's no room because we are all taking up 110% of the space. Um, with our crazy, self-entitled bullshit. Um, and I think that's okay. I want to preach like a new form of relationship because a lot of times when we talk about forming a bond with another person, it becomes this sort of whole you take care of me, I'll take care of you, we got each other's backs, we're sticking through it to the end. You know, if something bad happens to you, I'm almost save your ass. You know, something like that, or whatever. You know, or I'll help you through whatever you need. I'll help you through it. We'll get through this trauma together. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. Right? That's how it usually goes. That's the traditional way, right? I want to preach a new kind of relationship where it's I take care of me for you, and you take care of yourself for me. You know, like we're both 100% functioning adults who really don't need each other to survive. We don't need each other to intrinsically be here alive on Earth as individuals, right? Not necessary, not required. But we're here, we're making each other's lives better, and if someone falls, we pick you back up and help you start walking again. But I'm not here to take care of anybody. I'm not here to be anybody's hero. I'm not here to be anybody's savior. So, and a lot of my other views on relationships are becoming very toxic. So that's another reason why I've jumped out of this space. But until I can find someone who follows my same philosophy, I feel like it's a bad idea to poison the gene pool too much. I'm not intrinsically trying to block my blessings. I'm just not putting myself in situations where I'm pliable to be cherry picked, if you will, you know, for my intrinsic attractiveness, blackness, all this bullshit. You know, I'm really not about this whole pick me lifestyle of being the top selector and just picking and choosing from the litter of thousands of women's men's, you know, whoever it is approaching my doorstep. I want to be a conscientious gatekeeper and not just allow anyone who wants to be in. You know, you gotta gatekeep a little bit because that keeps your house clean. That keeps a lot of messes away from you. And I will say it's been very peaceful. I found ways to combat the loneliness. The loneliness doesn't get to me as much. Talking to you guys does help. It's a good distraction from the reality that I will most likely die alone because of this. Because this is the phase, guys. I will say, for us guys, you can usually find someone later in life in your 30s, 40s, because, you know, we're only going to get better looking, but It's just gonna be awkward. It's just gonna be really awkward, and you're not gonna be able to date in your own age range usually when you're up in that age. Because a lot of the women who are single in that age have an extra layer of crazy. Because if you're single in that age, you've probably had a couple partners, and that just it fucks with your expectations. And I think that's not just a girl thing, guys. A lot of people are like, oh my god, avoid the girls with high body count. Guys, we're a little bit more logical, but we still do that same shit. We still Frankenstein people, you know? We still have the ability to do that. You know, you take all of the good traits from every other girl that you've had, and you're like, oh man, I wish this girl was like this. I wish this girl was like this. Now, here's the thing. Guys will take that information, and they won't leave the woman, right? They probably won't do that. Guys really don't, you know, just leave girls like that. But they might cheat because of it, right? They might cheat. And then they might also just treat the woman poorly that they're with just because they've had others that were better, and they feel like, you know, she deserves it. She's not as good as this, or she doesn't do this well, you know, whatever. So I still feel like whoever you are, if you want to, you know, go towards that marriage realm, stay in the marriage realm. If you want to go towards that dating realm, stay in the dating realm. You know, don't cross the streams. Don't cross the streams, and know who you're dealing with. This is why we have to be conscientious gatekeepers, because if you're trying to find a forever partner and you find a girl who's for the streets, invite her into your home, you know, start wifing her up. A couple, you know, segments in, a couple sections in, you know, give it a year, give it a good couple months, you know, maybe even a few weeks, man, honestly. And they'll go back to their nature. You can't drive out nature. You can drive out nature with a pitchfork, but it will come back every time. So this is the time to decide, essentially. And I think personally, I'm already fucked. I'm already fucked. I've had like more than 10 people in my bed. Well, not this bed specifically, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, more than 10. When you're in the double digits, I feel like you're fucked and you're just in the dating realm, honestly. But I want to try. And the reason I want to try is it's for a very selfish reason. It's because I don't want to deal with a lot of people. I kind of hate people. And even dealing with a new personality for that short of a span of time that it takes for a girl to decide to sleep with you, and leave, even dealing with a new personality for that long is so energy draining to me. So very energy draining. Because I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself when I do that. When I'm in that mode. Oh! To knock down walls. I feel like I'm playing a character. And I do feel like I'm playing a character most times in life, but that is one that I really feel like, you know, this ain't the me, this ain't the D, you know, this ain't the we. Like I have to portray this masculine aura, or this, you know, increasingly ambivalent, non-caring attitude, in order to get what I want, which is what I really do want, you know. Like every guy wants to break down some walls sometimes, but you know, a lot of these times it's not worth it. And I was realizing in the later half of my my hoe era that I was actually feeling worse after fucking some of these girls than I would after I just stayed home and masturbated into a fucking sock and, you know, played some video games. I would feel worse because then I would think back to all the lies and all the, oh yeah, I'll call you laters, and all the, I had a great time tonight, and then, you know, all the missed texts afterwards, and I'm just like, I don't like bringing all this anguish to people that I really don't like for more than one reason. And I don't know if I'll ever find the person that I can actually tolerate for more than 20 minutes, but you know, it's very possible they're out there. There's like 8 billion of you fuckers. I know I can deal with one of you for for more than a YouTube video time span. Right, like it's like it's got to be possible, right? Let me go back to Dragon Quest here while I'm jiving through my little relationship rant. So we're fighting the Mach 2 of the robots. They're telling us that they're cutting down the trees because the trees are being evil and killing people. They also need the wood to save their poor village. So this is one of the villages in this game that you never see. Because they're that poor, I guess? I don't know. But there's more than like 10 towns in the game, obviously. So, you're using the robot to cut down the trees, and the robot explodes, and then, you know, there's fire everywhere, and we're gonna burn down the whole forest. But then, the spirit comes out, he's talking to us. But then, some voice from the forest comes out, peeks out, and tells us, "Ah, you have angered the forest. Now come here, face my wrath." Right? Essentially, whatever is what it says. And then we see all these tree guys here. So yeah, the forest is angry because we set it on fire. And now we have to appease the forest spirits. And that is what we're doing next. Once the lag stops, I promise things will go back to normal in a little bit. Once the lag stops, we'll go back to the chief here and do our thing. But we're almost done. I think we have 1 or 2 quests left. You know, 1 or 2 quests left. So we're almost done. Okay. I think I was pretty much at the end of that rant with the relationships. Also, my alarm is about to go off. Let me turn that off because it is almost 8 p.m. 8 p.m.? Whoa. 8 a.m. Yep, let me stop that. Yep. Yep. Yeah, but I feel like relationships like that you can really gel with a person, and you know, you spend 5 hours with them and it feels like 5 minutes. You know, I want that because that is my love language. I love talking about love languages too. That is usually an immediate signifier of a red flag or a green flag. Like if you're talking to a girl, you bring up love languages. You know, there are 5 different main love languages. You got spending time, physical touch, acts of love, or you know, tasks, things that you do for other people. You know, so physical touch, things you do for other people, spending time with people, words of affection, or gifts. And she says this last one. If she says giving gifts, that's a pretty big red flag. It's a pretty big red flag. Because I'm not saying you should, you know, flag every girl over here as a gold digger when they say they want to, you know, get stuff from you all the time. But that is a main signifier of a gold digger. You know, I'm just gonna let you know right there. That's what they want, is for you to give them shit all the time. So, see a girl like that, and she says gifts, just, you know, just tuck that in the pocket, you know, and say, oh, little red flag, little popped up there. Oh, put that down. Okay. Yeah, so just be aware. Just be aware. We are once again being conscientious gatekeepers. Because you have to combat loneliness, but you have to combat it in a logical way. Because loneliness can still creep up when we're with someone. So, you know, you're going to get a partner. If you just keep doing this willy-nilly, you're going to get a partner. And you're going to still feel lonely with them. You're going to feel lonely in a room full of them and all their friends and everyone around you. And you're just going to be, oh, I'm just lonely. Here I am, Mr. Lonely. Yeah, that lonely feeling when you're around like a bunch of people. I call it it's a different brand of lonely, you know? Because a lot of people like myself are gifted with the skill of being attractive. You know, that is a pretty big buff. It's a pretty big buff, and I don't mean to toot my own horn. I've actually worked to debuff myself. I still moisturize, but I actively neglect beard care to debuff myself because I feel like I don't want too many people looking at me. And honestly, way more people look at me than I want to. It's because of how I dress, and I dress this way to make myself feel better. But I realize because of the way I dress, because intrinsically the way I dress and the way I act, I get a lot of eyes on me. And I literally just do this because I feel like you should just do everything intrinsically for yourself. Like if you feel good doing this, why not keep doing it? You know, if you feel right and you know it's not hurting anybody, of course, why not keep doing it? And it is what fills me with joy. What fuels my delusion to be a real life anime character. It just makes me happy, you know, and I like the way it makes other people feel. So I'm not mad at it. I'm just realizing the fact that I get a lot of attention for not only the way I dress but the way I act, and because of that, I tend to debuff my appearance. Like, how can I make myself uglier? Well, you just not take care of your beard. You know, that's not going to affect your health too much, right? So I do that. I also don't take care of my hair. That is a health concern that could get to me eventually, but I honestly don't care about being bald. I feel like that'd be a cool new phase, so I'm not really worried about that too much. And I kind of like how it looks now with the messy shit. It's working for me, so I don't really care about that much too either. And those two combined factors, along with the fact that my fucking fashion sense is out there, I just get a lot of eyes. And I've realized that, you know, just from the results I've gotten, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm a very, like, I don't pursue a lot. It's not that I am shy. It's that it's more like I see, like, I have future sight, like I have the Jimmy Neutron vision. Like whenever I see a girl, she looks attractive to me, she's someone I could, you know, I could bust down the walls. I go Jimmy Neutron, I brain blast, and then I'm like, what is the error in her 5 years down the line? And so I usually don't pursue. And I still get results because I just detach and I let them talk to me. You know, I'll let them do their thing, and, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, if you want to hang out, blah, 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 whatever, yada, 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 I'm free. Take down my number. Whatever. You keep talking to me for some reason. So we'll lead this on to something else. We'll take this somewhere else. And the somewhere else is, you know, the somewhere else. But from my results, right? From my natural gift of the gab, I've realized it ain't all what it cracks up to be. Being attractive and having all this attention doesn't equate that, you know, I'll never be lonely and I'll never have to, you know, feel the coldness of a cold pillow, an empty bed, or whatever, you know, especially for guys. But I've learned that even for girls, when you're attractive, it doesn't just automatically mean, you know, you fall into different relationships, fall into the lap of everything. You know, everyone loves you, and it's so easy for you to not be lonely, not be sad and shit. God, it is so laggy this episode. I apologize, guys. I'm really sorry. Hopefully I can fix this lag in post or something. But whatever. We try. We vibe. I guess I can go back to Dragon Quest Land 2 now that the lag has stopped here a little bit. What we're doing now... I believe we're going back to the forest to collect something. Or back to Kermui or something. I don't know. And I think we have to go around the forest to the Sunset Meadow to fight a specific enemy here, or something of sorts. So we're preparing to cleanse the forest of the forest spirits. Essentially, is what's going on here. Is this quest beforehand, and I think you have to go to the cursed land to collect some sort of leaf. Fight some sort of enemy here. So no worries though. I know what I'm doing. We're fighting the Bud Brothers. Right. So we'll kill these guys, and then we'll run back to our Ranger boy and do the thing. Of course. Indubitably. Oh my goodness, where was I? Yeah, the loneliness that you can feel from being surrounded by other people, it's a different brand of lonely. It's a different brand of lonely. That specifically only those who are commonly chosen experience. I call it the French vanilla lonely. Um, it's like just like a different flavor, you know. It's like when you get vanilla ice cream, you get that homemade vanilla ice cream, and then you over here you got the French vanilla whipped ice cream. It's just different. It's different. They're the same flavor, right? You get the same gist, but that French vanilla, it hit different. It hit different. So, um, whenever your friends or your girl, you got a girl who is also your friend who's like, oh shit, so lonely all the time, and they're super fucking hot, and you're like, cap, you're not lonely. It's true. It can happen. It's possible. I've seen it happen before. I've heard anecdotal evidence. And although I personally am not lonely, or at least I delude myself into thinking I'm not lonely, I am just alone. And I am completely happy with my life now, relationship wise. And I'm just working to improve it. I think this is a brand of loneliness that we really need to like detect and find ways to cope with. Find ways to branch out with. Because it is kind of an epidemic that's happening now. Maybe not so much in the Americas, because I feel like if you're not in California, maybe a little bit of New York, maybe a little bit of Chicago, if you're not in like a big city, most people are ugly as shit. Let's just be real here. Most of y'all look goofy, goofy, goofy as hell. At least what I'm seeing. Maybe I go to Walmart too much. Maybe I'm at work too much, and I only see the ugly people at work. But I see like maybe two, one person I'm attracted to when I go out. Yeah, it's not many. It's not many. So it's been very easy for me to stay celibate. To say the least. I'm not starving out here for a piece. Now it was very hard when I lived in different places, but now that I'm in Florida, I suppose if I was in a more urban city, it'd be a little different. I'm in kind of a rural city right now. Not gonna dox myself with the city name, but I don't know. I might do it later in the future if enough people care. So you can come out and kill me too. Yeah, murder. Yeah, don't we love it? But yeah, we're rocking through. We're rocking through. Whatever kind of loneliness you may feel, just know you're not alone. I know that it's kind of like an oxymoron, but yeah, this is the internet, so I have to tell you that. I have to tell you that you have thousands of voices watching you constantly. I'm watching you right now. So yeah, the loneliness epidemic. What a thing. What a thing. I think I'm gonna do the Book of Bosses here real quick. Is what's going on before I start the next quest. I forget which boss we're doing here, but it's certainly yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. This is just to get my daily done. I might do that later. I might be checking the quest to see which one I'm doing. Which one we got? So that is Cuckoo Cannibal? Yeah, right there. Cool. I think that's the cuckoo bird. So we be doing a little fighting, we be doing a little lagging, we be doing a little laggy fighting. Yeah, this game is very fun to play. I will figure out how to record it. I thought recording on the Switch would make it considerably less laggy. Now it just lags in different places, and at least it doesn't do that glitchy thing where it like flashbangs you with the black screen anymore. It is still annoying when the footage craps out, and I'm hoping I can fix that in post. But if I can't, just know that I will only get better. If you hate it now, you probably won't hate it in the future. So subscribe, leave a like, follow the page, follow me on Twitch. Don't worry, if you love Dragon Quest, I'm here for Dragon Quest. I'm here for the questing, damn it. And this boss is pretty simple here. I'll get back to the yaps. I'll get back to the yaps. We won't talk about too much more RPG bullshit anymore. You know, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Uh, but yeah, a lot of people are very fearful of being alone. I want to preach and I want to push forward the philosophy of how powerful it is to be alone and how powerful it is to be comfortable alone with your thoughts. Being able to talk to ourselves and being able to realize that when you are alone with your thoughts, what comes in and what attacks you, that is not you. You are the observer, observing the things that are coming in and well, either attacking you or loving you, whatever it is. Like even if your inner voice is positive, that inner voice is not you. That inner voice is a combination of all the observations and opinions that you've collected over your lifetime. So you can't focus on that, and you can't act like that is the end all judgment of your life. Like if that voice is in your head telling you you're a loser and you shouldn't get out of bed, you have to realize that you are just the observer. And hey, I may not be a loser, but you know, maybe I still stay in bed just because. You know, at least that's what I do. Um, and just realize you can't put too much stake in it. You can't put too much stake in it. I know it's coming from you. I know it feels like that this is the right thing to do, to be, to personify, but you can't focus on that. You can't focus on it. Oh no. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you do, which I do feel like is a good idea to have a full schedule, but I don't feel like you should fill your schedule with just a bunch of shit for other people. To truly master being alone, you need tasks that you can do alone for yourself. For yourself. That's the main thing. So, hobbies are great. Video games are great. Something that you can just play solo dolo and practice that art of being alone. It is very powerful. You can become very comfortable with yourself if you just work at the skill. And I think it's very valuable to have it. To be able to tap into that power and not need anybody else. You know, you're going to be a great roommate for sure. For sure, right? You're going to be good at providing needs for people when they need it. But the problem with being alone is it becomes so powerful that you start to want to be alone more than you want to be with other people, which is why I don't preach if you are a girl, if you are female, maybe you don't want to grind this skill because girls are very social creatures in general. So I mean like it's your choice, your body, your choice, all that shit, right? But if you're a girl and you're grinding your alone skill, you're naturally working against your biology because you're designed to be a social creature. Um, which sucks. I think it sucks because I don't like people in general. I'm trying to build a community, a tribe of people that I do enjoy being around. And I think it's not just my environment. I think it really is like a Western thing because I've been to a lot of different places in the U.S. and I've realized people are mostly the same. Mostly, they're just different demographics. Maybe different um, poverty levels. Different social statuses. Um, but attitudes and general intellect pretty much the same across the board. Pretty much the same across the board. So if you are in your hometown, and you did well in school, you're a pretty smart guy, well educated, you know, went off to college in like the community college area, whatever, have a nice job. Um, you're well off ahead of like 50 to 90% of people. Um, and if you go off anywhere else in the U.S., you'll realize that. You realize that it's just general people with more money than you, but nobody's really that much smarter, that much wiser, that much stronger. Really, we're all a baseline of like I say 90 apples, and there's some people with 99 apples, and there's like most people with like 60 apples. And then you got all these motherfuckers with like 50 and 40 apples. Some people have like 70 to 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why I'm equating this to apples, but nevertheless, the moral of the story, the moral of the story is that you can't let these guys get ahead of you in your brain, thinking that you're less of a person just because someone has more power or status than you. We are all generally on an equal playing field, except for race and stuff. Obviously, I'm not gonna get into that in this little chat here, but there are intrinsic races over here in the Western civilization that tend to get a little bit more flack than the other. Me being a black guy means I have to talk about that a little bit, but I tend not to really get into that too much over here in the gaming space. I've noticed that the color doesn't matter too much. People really don't care about that aspect of it till it's shoved down our throats. Then we fucking care. So I'm not gonna shove it down your throat, at least in a video that's not titled about it. We're not gonna go ahead and get into it because you know, like as gamers we're all shut-ins, so we know how it is outside. You wouldn't become a shut-in if you didn't already have a bad experience with the outside world. That's just not how it works. You become a shut-in because you've been shut out of the outside world. Um, but that's my opinion. I suppose there are some people who are incels just because I don't know. I guess they really like the inside, but um, it commonly doesn't really happen in my eyes. A lot of people have some deep anguish, deep regrets. They feel like they've been neglected, yada yada yada. There's always some kind of pain point with the outside world. Whenever you're deep into the gaming, inside all day culture. Usually doesn't happen where you're like, oh yeah, I love going outside. I have no problems. I'm just in here all the time. Usually doesn't happen. Usually doesn't happen. But maybe I'm just not meeting those stable, able-bodied mind individuals. If you're triggered by this, let me know that you are triggered and you're one of those guys. It's like, I go outside all the time. I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy. All right. So we got our boss here. This is the end of the Ranger quest, baby. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? We smoking the white trees. Our spirit is giving him a rousing speech about how great it is to be a human. I think it's okay. I think I'd have a pretty good time as a dog too. Does anybody else think that? Does anybody else think like, man, if I was a dog, I think I'd have a pretty good life. I think I'd have a pretty good life. I think I'd enjoy it, especially if it was a domesticated dog. Like that would be fucking lit. That would be fucking lit. Free meals all the time. I'd probably get some big titties in my face regularly. Probably. They could be small. Nevertheless, if it's a dude owner, then he's gonna be cool. He's gonna be playing 2K all the time, you know. Get to watch some movies. You know, I get walks. Get to play around. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think it's a pretty sweet deal. Pretty sweet deal. But yeah, Spirit has his speech about how great being human is, all that good stuff. And then the guy's like, "Fuck that." And the Spirit's like, "Oh no, he's gonna implode. There's only one way to solve this. I've got to go deeper." Oh shit, the sound just came back. Thank God. Whoop! And then he goes into the tree. The tree is getting possessed, and basically the spirit that was with us the whole time becomes the spirit of the forest, and they're now helping out the forest with all the little forestal creatures now. And that is the general end of the Ranger story. Don't we love it? Don't we love it? A little bit of sacrifice at the end there. A little bit of heartful apologies for the human race and all the dumb shit we do. But yeah, we're done here. I'm gonna take you guys through the last little cutscene of this, take you through the to be continued, and then we'll say our merry little goodbyes here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the chats today. Talked a little bit about the loneliness epidemic. Talked a little bit more about our relationships. And it was good. It was good. We had a nice time. I say some takeaways from this, some morals of the story. Be comfortable being alone. It's a tool. It's a muscle you gotta flex, right? So, whenever you're by yourself and you find yourself swarmed with terrible thoughts and you're like, I'm so lonely, yada yada yada, you just gotta remember it's not me. It's just my ego. It's just my ego time. And I have to not fight against it, but just let them roll over me. Let the thoughts pass, you know? Because that's all they're going to do anyways. They're just going to pass and you're still going to be in the same fucking spot. So you might as well just let them pass, think about some other shit. Do some other shit. Guys, if you're not already creatively activating your mind, if I can talk, Jesus Christ. If you are not already creatively activating your mind and doing something like that, and I'd say pick up a controller, pick up a mouse, pick up an instrument. Do something that activates your mind creatively instead of just sitting there and watching TV. You know, or exercise. Exercising is really fun too. I like to go on walks. I like to box. I have a lot of exercises that I tend to do. But don't just sit on your ass, smoke weed, and watch movies all day. Okay, guys? So I love you. Bye. And I will see you next time.